That's right, everyone. My 100% run of Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is back. This will be the third and final video in this series, so if you haven't checked out the 100 and 200 days videos, I suggest you do that. If you don't, you'll probably be more lost and confused than I was when my mom let go of my hand in the towering aisles of Toys R Us in 1999. Anyways, you didn't come here to learn about my traumatic childhood memories. You came here to watch a fun video about an awesome game, right? So let's do that. Editor, can we do that now? Please? As I get back into the swing of things in Zephyr Town, day 201 begins in the cellar harvesting some melons, then collecting more bingo sheets from the nature sprites. I made sure to collect the eggs in the big barn and run over to the blue windmill to get those fresh melons turned into seeds. I found a rare mushroom just chilling at the mountains before spending my afternoon fishing near the nature sprite ridge. That evening, I did a resource run, complete with 1 diamond, and finished the day off by farming guardian fish. The morning of day 202 is spent in the barn collecting some rare Suffolk wool from Lambert and harvesting a final round of tea leaves in the 𝘰𝗵𝗄𝗏 crop field that I very quickly repopulated and watered. One of the bingo squares I need to complete is collecting 100 mint, so I started that journey in the mountains, then leveled up my fish quality to 5.5 stars courtesy of some guardian fish. As Finley is the second to last sprite to upgrade, I spent the remainder of the evening catching more guardian fish, and ended the day by getting my fish quality up to level 6, and created some 7-star melon tea to sell at the next bazaar. My live chat decided I needed to wear this amazing outfit on day 203 before getting back into the cellar to harvest some straggler melons. Above ground in the pasture, I got Flan the cow milked and Oreo the sheep sheared, and ran over to the yellow windmill to queue up 10 diamond bracelets. Today is yet another animal festival in Zephyr Town, so I entered Onyx in the Silver Silky competition and came out with another W. With what remained of my day, I made sure my stall was ready to go for tomorrow's bazaar and harvested some mushrooms in the mountains. Another day means another outfit, and I got that shit on to start day 204. I quickly completed all my farm chores and then went to the bazaar square to grab a fortune and sell off my goods for 1.4 million G. I completed a fair amount of bingos the last couple days, but the only good thing I got was this treasure chest. Over at Karina's stall, I purchased some new threads, got 𝘃𝗶𝗃 working on a new progeny, and spent 640,000 G on another bazaar upgrade, before finishing the day off in the cellar replanting some 5-star melons that I intend to turn into more melon tea. Felix is at my door to kick off a very rainy day 205 to confirm my bazaar upgrade and hand me a bill for the next one. More important than that, though, is that my reward for the upgrade is 10 pieces of ultimate lumber. Before getting all wet outside, I collected some rare alpaca wool from Burgundy, then braved the rainstorm to collect some fresh melons in the second crop field, and ran over to the east side of town to catch a new fish. Another day in Zephyr Town is in the books as I finished this one by upgrading the bazaar again. My reward for that upgrade arrived the morning of day 206, 3 pieces of rare Suffolk yarn. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot to press the record button for the morning of this day, and all I got was me collecting resources, so let's just skip to day 207 where Cusco gave birth to a rare alpaca. Our new little fuzzball pal was lovingly named Lilac by my live chat, and obviously I made sure our friend was nice and comfy in the big barn, before getting out into the field to harvest even more melons. Those fresh fruits got promptly thrown into the blue windmill seed maker, before I ended another day at the East River farming guardian fish for Finley. Day 208 begins in the pasture, giving all my animals the love and care they deserve, but today is a special day as it's a fall morning with no clouds and no wind, the perfect weather conditions to catch the ever-elusive shining fish at the mountain peak. That evening, I finally got the last bit of mint to complete that godforsaken bingo square, did some guardian fish farming for Finley, then finished the day by cultivating more tea leaves at the third crop field. Another feathered friend has joined the gang the morning of day 209. What will hopefully be a super rare chicken that my live chat named Microwave, but spelled funny because character limits. Hopefully this chick will grow up to have some cool colors, or it's dead to me. Even more tea leaves are ready for harvest in the first crop field, then up I go to the mountains to gather up some honeycomb and pluck off the fresh fungi. The final activity of this day was to just relax and enjoy myself at the annual Juice Festival. With another live chat influenced outfit donned to start day 210, it's down to the cellar to ground pound some melons. Blonde provided me with some delicious milk in the pasture before I ran over to the blue windmill to continue the ultimate lumber and stone grind. Our good pal and former love interest Arta seems to have taken interest in someone else, and as his former boy toy, it's only right that I encourage him to seek greener pastures. I spent the evening in the kitchen cooking up some more melon tea, fishing up some more scaly boys at the river, which, after donating all of them to Finley, finally finished this Nature Sprites leveling experience. Every fish I catch will now be 7-star max quality, leaving only Penny and her bugs to level up. It feels like time travel, but the weekly bazaar is once again upon us on day 211. So I threw on a new fit and checked the mail where Finley's rosette was waiting for me to collect. But before I get down to the bazaar square, I got more melons to harvest. After quickly redecorating my stall for maximum profit gains, I grabbed a fortune from Destiny and got to selling. My melon tea was the talk of the town, and the resulting profits of just over 1 million G is a nice sweetener. With another bingo card completed, I grabbed the Seafarer's dress from the Nature Sprites and purchased another fun outfit from Karina's stall. With Lilac being a rare variant, I no longer have use for Cusco, so he was sent to a new farm before Buffy was selected as the next in line to be bred. The afternoon shift was barely noticeable as I sold off some items that were going bad or taking up storage space for some pocket change, before I ended the day by upgrading the bazaar one more time. With the bazaar now at level 29 and another large bill for me to pay coming up, a reward of 10 summer juice hardly seems like a great way to kick off day 212. Brushing my animals always makes me feel better though, so I did that, collected some mushrooms up at the mountains, and donated some bugs and critters to Penny to get their quality level up to 6 stars. Only one more star to go. I once again paid Felix his money, and repopulated my mushroom logs and ended the day with a god drop of all god drops. 3 pink diamonds from a single mithril node. I played this game for well over 300 hours, and I'd be surprised if I ever saw this happen even if I played 300 more. With the bazaar quickly rising up the ranks to level 30 and 20 bouquets in my back pocket, I started day 213 in the barn collecting wool and milking cows before heading out into the 3rd crop field to get some more tea leaves. And speaking of tea leaves, I entered my autumn leaves in the seasonal crop show, and of course, they won top prize. As this was my maiden victory in the golden crop competitions, my tea leaves were officially branded, and I got a new decor item for my bazaar stall. And to finish off an exciting day in Zephyrtown, the monotony of collecting mint over and over again once again entered my life. But at least I can curb that boredom of mint harvesting with new outfits to start day 214. Unfortunately though, our pile microwave isn't a super rare chicken, so she'll have to go to another farm at some point. Out in the 2nd crop field, a bunch of daisies are ready to be side down and turned into white dye at the red windmill. I did my morning resource run complete with a pink diamond, and then went to the yellow windmill to pick up some ultimate lumber and expensive accessories. And with that extra processing room, I queued up some more diamond bracelets before ending another day by grinding mint. Tomorrow is Zephyrtown's version of Halloween, so I was up early the morning of day 215 making some cookies for the kiddos before swapping to a new outfit. Up at the crop field, some tea leaves were ready for harvest, and then I went to check on a pregnant Buffy. Over at the mountains, I collected some fresh mushrooms before going down to the blue windmill to queue up some emerald accessories to end the day. To start off day 216, I finally completed another one of those incredibly time-consuming mint collection bingo squares. Now I could finally get started on the 2nd batch of bingo cards. I put on my live chat-inspired Halloween outfit, found another sparkly spot up in the mountains while doing my ore run, then ran back home to give Zephyrtown's children some treats so they don't trick me. Another exciting festival day in Zephyrtown is laid to rest as I finished it off in the kitchen, cooking up some more melon tea. Day 217, the final day of autumn in year 2, begins in the closet, picking out a new look, then over to the barn to brush Basil and Lambert. A final round of flowers are ready for harvest in the 2nd crop field, and then it's over to the yellow windmill to grab some high-value items. I dug up a pink diamond at the base of the mountains this morning, then got another pink diamond from the mithril ore, which was the final 2 I needed to do another round of those extra expensive brooches. Bees and dragonflies are on bonus at Penny's, so I leveled up the quality to 6.5 stars before running down to the bazaar square to prepare the stall for tomorrow, and ended the day and the season in the red windmill crafting some more purple dyes. The first day of winter means a thick snow has descended upon the town, so I need to be adequately dressed to start day 218. Of course, I have to check the mail to see what the trending items are this season, but the accessories trend still eludes me. I quickly got Oreo and Lilac sheared of their wool in the big barn, then went down to the bazaar to make some money. Thanks to upgrading the bazaar to level 30, 𝗁𝗵𝗄𝗏 has another storage upgrade for sale. But before I buy that, I had to turn in another bingo card to pick up the Black Pirate Glider. I did a little bit of gambling at Rich's Casino and got the first prize, which today was a not-so-useful power berry, before hitting up Karina's to purchase some more clothing items. I sold off some extra mithril and orichalcum during the afternoon bazaar to cover the 2 million G I needed to expand my storage, then went over to the yellow windmill to queue up the final windmill goods tent. Back at the bazaar, I got microwaves eggs fertilized, got the bazaar upgraded again, then finished the day off by planting some grape, blueberry, and olive trees in the cellar. Wilbur finished the penultimate upgrade to my storage to kick off day 219, quickly followed by Felix notifying me of the recent bazaar upgrade. I'm pretty sure the diamonds were found by Wilbur, and the 20 pickled cabbages were my upgrade reward. I threw on a delightfully purple snowsuit, got some more pink diamonds at the mountains during my ore run, then went down to the equestrian park to catch a new guardian fish, the peacock bass, before finishing my day in the yellow windmill acquiring my excellent windmill tent. Day 220 requires another new snowsuit, this time a pink variety with a matching headband. I made sure to fertilize my trees in the cellar so they reach 5-star quality, gave all my birds in the pasture some pets, and went up to the mountains to collect some honeycomb. Over at the Bazaar Square, I spent my afternoon optimizing my stall with the new tent and decor items I've received thus far, and finished another day off with the completion of some bingo missions by using the glider for 10 seconds and finding these shiny objects around town. Buffy gave birth to a super rare calf to start day 221, and the blue horns on this little guy required my live chat to name him Blue. I made sure to take care of all my animals in the barn and got my pirate outfit on once again requested by the live chat, then got into the fields to harvest some flowers. If I'm gonna acquire every outfit in the game, I'm gonna need a lot of dye, and I think this amount of purple should be enough. I was feeling extra generous today, so I put a cap on it by making some 𝗀𝘂𝘪𝘪 for Maple, since it's her favorite gift item. I kicked off day 222 by getting a chat friendship buff from 𝗃𝗃𝗄, continuing to fertilize my juvenile trees, then throwing on a new outfit to get some milk for my cows in the pasture. I did my morning ore run, which was fairly uneventful, then spent most of the day utilizing my friendship buff by running around town talking to people, as I'll need to get every villager up to full hearts if I want to 100% the game. I spent the evening hours practicing for the upcoming Winter Horse Derby, doing some relaxing fishing, and continuing to grind out those bug levels with Penny. Microwave the Chicken's fertilized egg hatched the morning of day 223, and Stringy B was welcomed to the Fowl Farm family. Obviously, I had to put on some new attire, then beeline it to the yellow windmill so I could queue up the penultimate ultimate tool, the max upgraded hoe. I quickly did a pink diamond highlighted ore run in the mountains, then ran down to the town plaza to compete in the semi-annual pet show. This time around, Butters was the chosen canine to lead us to victory and collect another trophy for the collection. The live chat really loved the pink snowsuit, so I equipped it again to start day 224. I made sure all my animals were happy and healthy, cut down another batch of flowers in the third crop field, then went up to the mountains to collect my daily bees. The next bazaar day is on the horizon, so I stopped by my stall to fill up my stock, got some more dyes cooking in the red windmill, and did some more fishing. Up in the mountains, I put some mushrooms on logs, replaced the mint with some primroses at the bee field, then picked up a request for a rare crop from Miguel, which was fairly straightforward to complete. As I was getting ready for bed, 𝗃𝗃𝗄 woke me up having heard rustling from the nature sprites in the house. Turns out the nature sprites are also the givers of life, and they decided 𝗃𝗃𝗄 and I were ready to be parents. After a back and forth vote in my live chat, it was decided that my future child would be a girl to end the day. Unfortunately, we aren't getting the baby right now, as it appears the nature sprites need to do some due diligence in finding the perfect offspring. So I spent the morning of day 225 in the pasture taking care of my animals, before the bazaar day got well and truly underway. 493,000 G isn't too bad for selling off scraps, and that money came in handy to purchase some new clothes. Now that we have a super rare Suffolk sheep, Lambert was sent off to a new farm, and Flan was given a miracle potion from Ramon. Over at the Sprite stall, I purchased 𝗃𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 My reward for that upgrade arrived to kick off day 226, 20 pieces of special butter. Over at the big barn, I made sure Flan was feeling comfortable before running over to the second crop field to harvest some burdock root. I finished a short day by doing some fishing at the East River, where I reeled up a new purple bottle recyclable and the bluegill. I threw on my newly purchased super stylish jacket to start day 227 and got to work in the big barn milking Buffy and Cardio B. Some 5-star melons are ready to harvest in the cellar, but the big moment happened in the yellow windmill, where my ultimate hoe is ready for collection. This little miracle can plow an entire field with one swing. I received a level 4 chat friendship buff from Kaketsu, so I spent the remainder of the day running around talking to people before putting a cap on it by doing my nightly ore run. I started day 228 in the barn picking up eggs and learning that Stringy Bee is just a normal chicken variant, before confirming that Blue was indeed a super rare buffalo, which lifted my spirits. Today is Hearth Day, so I got into the kitchen to cook up a whole bunch of warm milk and went around town trading it for friendship points and exchange recipes. Our girl Maple had a pretty simple request for me, so I got that completed with a swiftness, which got me the cherry pie recipe. Up in the mountains, I collected a pink diamond from this mithril ore, finished a bingo square by collecting some invigorating honey, then got another pink diamond by unearthing this dig spot at 𝘃𝗀𝗄𝗏's before finishing off a lovely Hearth day by eating dinner with my wife. And speaking of my wife, she provided me with another chat friendship buff the morning of day 229. So I spent the day running around town talking to people. I kid you not, so many of the town's villagers had requests for me today. Wilbur, Diana, Madeline, Derek, Sophie, Lloyd, Jules, Sylvia, Lori, Kevin, and Gabriel all had some type of errand that only I could complete for them. If I didn't think these relationships were transactional before today, I 100% believe it now. So I essentially spent all day completing the mountain of requests that were handed off to me and collected a bunch of recipes that I'll have to make eventually. I needed a mental reset after all that work, so I started day 230 with a new outfit and just enjoyed the simplicity of taking care of the animals. 10 pink brooches were ready for collection at the Yellow Windmill, and then I completed a couple of bingo missions by collecting mushrooms and bouncing on the barrels. I completed Lori's request for wool, then ran into Nadine, who also had a request for me, which was an easy completion. June was the last person to get on their request train for today, and it was an easy completion, and I spent the evening fishing to whittle down Wilbur's request to catch 100 items. To finish off day 30, I saw what I would consider a passive-aggressive cutscene between Nadine and Clara, as the former was pushing food on the latter's family, almost as if she was showing off how much better of a cook she was. Day 231 is headlined by the seasonal animal show, so I was quickly out to the pasture to prepare Buffy, today's entrant. I quickly did my mountain chores by throwing some spores onto the logs and collecting diamonds during my ore run, before running down to the town plaza where the festivities are underway. As you could probably expect, all these out-of-towners are no match for Buffy and I, and we cruise to another victory. That leaves me to spend the remainder of the day fishing to continue making progress towards Wilbur's request. As I was checking on the weather the morning of day 232, Shireen informed me of an incoming blizzard, so I threw on a seasonally inappropriate outfit that exposed way too much skin, and assured my animals that the blizzard would be nothing to stress over. As today is a bizarre day, I got my fortune from Destiny and got to sell it, where I made just over 300,000 G, thanks to 𝗆𝗏𝗆𝗀 buying all this honey. I used those funds to purchase another suit from Karina, before heading over to the nature sprites to complete a bingo square and acquire the sushi chef clothes. Now that Buffy has birthed a super rare progeny, she was sent off to a new home along with 𝘁𝗵𝗄, and 𝘵𝗫𝗄𝗃's eggs were once again fertilized. The afternoon bazaar netted me some more pocket change, and I spent the evening getting more diamond bracelets queued up, prepared some windscreens for the oncoming blizzard, and then did even more fishing for Wilbur. My first round of blueberries, green grapes, and olives were ready for plucking in the cellar to kick off day 233 before getting into the pasture to milk all of my cows. Courtesy of 𝘃𝗀𝗄𝗏, I received another chat friendship buff to continue my 100% friendship grind, and then I went and upgraded the bazaar for the low price of 880,000 G. I collected a request from Felix to repair the statue of himself, which I reluctantly completed. I threw on a new outfit because my live chat told me to, and I encouraged Derek to find someone since I'm a married man, and ended the day with more fishing. A blizzard will be here in 24 hours, but Felix doesn't care. He's here to start day 234 to let me know that the bazaar got another upgrade, and I got a gift of 10 ultimate stone, which is pretty handy. I got some fuzzy creatures sheared in the barn, continued creating windscreens for tomorrow's blizzard, and then went up to the mountains to collect some mushrooms. After utilizing the remaining amount of chat friendship buff, I saw a cute cutscene at the hotel where Sonia talks about her and Stuart's son, and how his distance has affected Stuart, only for Maple to show up and give him a gift to cheer him up. The rest of the evening was spent doing some fishing, then getting those windscreens thrown up. As the blizzard touches down in Zephyrtown, Flan gave birth to a super rare black cow we named Fine Wine. Hopefully this little calf isn't too frightened by the storm. I'm certainly undeterred, as I finally have the opportunity to catch this here aqua bottle and the marbled eel that has been missing from my fishing list to finish up at day 235. The semi-annual horse derby headlines day 236, so I very quickly did an ore run up in the mountains and ran down to the equestrian park where Samir needed a simmered fish. I completed that request and learned how to make 𝗵𝗄𝗆, a very useful money-making recipe that I won't discover until it's too late. But that's besides the point. I'm here to do a horse race, and Ivory is raring to go. The silver horse race definitely wasn't that difficult, and I was able to get a win without any practice. But the most important moment of the day came after the race. I finally reeled up 100 items from fishing and was able to put this Wilbur request behind me. Another fertilized egg from 𝘵𝗫𝗄𝗏 hatched on day 237, so fingers crossed little Mimi here is a super rare variant. As the snow came down, I made sure to take care of the large animals before running up to the mountains to unearth a pink diamond, allowing me to get another 10 brooches cooking in the yellow windmill. I spent the afternoon jumping on some barrels to complete some bingo squares and finished the day by throwing some leftovers into the bazaar stall. My homegirl 𝗃𝗃𝗄𝗃 hooked it up with another maxed out chat friendship buff to start day 238, so I threw on some fresh clothes and got to work, quickly taking care of my animals and collecting my daily bees. Then it was time to go out on the town and talk to people to properly utilize that buff. The summer horse derby is only a couple weeks away, so I made sure to get prepared for that before running into Freya that evening. She seems to be smitten with a new man, and I'm gonna encourage my girl to go after what she wants. I also did the same for Lloyd too, but I honestly don't think he needed that much encouragement. On day 239, I rocked the sushi fit for the first time before heading downstairs to harvest some more melons. I picked up some rare Suffolk wool from my boy Oreo and received a couple of requests. Freya wants a necklace, Eric wants a rare crop, and Stuart wants me to use my sickle 999 times. Well, I'm gonna worry about that later. It's bazaar time, so I got my stall stocked, picked up a fortune, and made just under 800,000 G. Over at Rich's Casino, the top prize for today wound up to be some handy adamantite, and then I sent Flan to a new home, since fine wine is more rare, before giving 𝗺𝗂𝗶𝗆 a miracle potion. To finish off the day, I got a request from Clara for a 3-star bouquet, and used some of my profits to upgrade the bazaar. The best part of getting that upgrade is the reward of 3 red necklaces, which I'm sure I'll use for Freya's request. But before I do that, I have some fresh apples and red grapes to collect in the cellar, and some animals chilling in the pasture that need some pets. Up in the mountains, I collected some honeycomb from the bees, and went back down to town where Sonia needs to find an item she misplaced, and Mina wants a handful of mushrooms. Luckily, I had those mushrooms just chilling in my storage, so picking up this quick recipe for Mina was a sitch, and Freya was just chilling at the town square, so one of those aforementioned necklaces completed her request. While I was in the mood, I gave Eric a rare crop to grab the caprese salad recipe, and then located old lady Sonia's item on top of the cafe and returned it to her. To finish off the day, I went over to Miguel's store and purchased some more flower seeds. Day 241 begins in the closet equipping a new outfit, then chatting up my wife and getting another friendship buff. The nature sprites had another round of bingo cards for me to complete, and then I went and checked on 𝗺𝗂𝗶 as she's continuing her gestation period. Out in the first crop field, I harvested some ripe carrots and planted those bellflower seeds I purchased yesterday night, then went up to the mountains to catch some bees. Today is highlighted by the seasonal crop competition, where I turned an apple into a bronze trophy. And with all the townsfolk in the square, I spent the afternoon chatting them up, then ran over to the equestrian park to farm some weeds, since I'm gonna have to use this sickle another 800 more times to satisfy Stuart. Mimi has finally grown up on day 242, and I'm ecstatic to tell you she is a super rare variant. She might look like a silky chicken, but you can't find that blue and red combo anywhere else. There isn't much to show you guys, as a large majority of the day was just spent grinding out sickle uses, picking up some flowers I ordered, and getting those planted. A quick shout out to the developers for throwing this fun little tree in my house that I just noticed, but day 243 required an outfit change. Out in the winter cold, I took care of all my animals, scythed down some stuff and collected the ripe oranges before talking to my wife and getting another chat friendship buff. The rest of the day was spent giving gifts to villagers and talking to them for friendship points, utilizing the windmills to continue making accessories, and running around town cutting down as many weeds and herbs as I could find, and I'm about halfway done with Stuart's request. I started day 244 with a shower to finish another bingo card, then went out to the first crop field where some bellflowers have bloomed. I said hello and milked Caramel in the pasture, then went over to Shireen's room in the hotel to receive a request from her. But honestly, I was feeling super lazy today, so I called it an early night and just enjoyed a dinner with 𝗃𝗃𝗄𝗃. With my battery recharged, I woke up on day 245 and cooked up Shireen's requested pudding and completed that request in exchange for 99 units of pet treats, then ran back home to milk my cows. But the grind does not stop. I still gotta collect the bees for Penny and cut down the weeds for Stuart. My wife didn't help either by giving me another chat friendship buff, which means I have to run around town and talk to people again. Another week has come and gone though, so day 246 has a frantic start as I take care of all the animals and plant some flowers in the cellar before heading down to the bazaar square to get my fortune and start selling off all my wares. I used my profits to level up the bazaar again, set microwave to a new home, and quickly got Mimi's eggs fertilizing, hoping that a super rare chicken increases my odds for getting that SSR chicken. I showed the nature sprites my completed bingo card, and was rewarded with the tuna sushi glider, which will no doubt look great with my stylish knit vest I crafted with Karina. I got another lucky draw during my weekly gambling and received an additional piece of adamantite. And then I finished the day off by getting agonizingly close to finishing off the Nature Sprite leveling grind. Felix woke me up on day 247 to let me know that all future donations to the bazaar will require at least 7 digits, which is very scary considering I am only at level 35. Side note, 10 green dies hardly seems like an even exchange for almost 1 million G. First time egg mother Mimi obviously gets special attention, and the rest of the day was spent doing ore runs, hoping for rare gems, and inching closer to those 999 sickle uses. Day 48 and the final day of my second year in Zephyr Town wouldn't be complete without a stylish festival outfit to ground pound these tea leaves in style. Out on the pasture, I made sure to milk my cows and then finally chop down the last couple bits of fodder I needed to complete Stuart's evil request. You can bet your ass the first thing I did was hightail it to the hotel and get it out of my inventory. And my reward for all that work? 9 melon seeds. Great, I love it. Thanks, Stuart. But now I can finally get back to farming ores without the stress of constantly having to cut weeds. But of course, I can't forget about the mint. There's so many bingo squares that require me to harvest 100 mint. But annoying requests and self-imposed pain aside, the New Year's celebration is well underway as we say goodbye to another eventful 4 seasons in Zephyr Town. But before we get into year 3, a quick word from this video's sponsor, me. Yes sirree, your boy is still sponsoring his own videos. This video won't have a single mid-roll ad, and all I ask in return is that you do a couple of things for your buddy old pal. If you could subscribe to the channel and enable notifications, that would be hella sweet. It lets me know that you like the content and want to see more. Number 2, liking the video would really help with the engagement metrics and helps the YouTube algorithm recommend this video to other people. The more eyeballs I get on my videos allows me to continue sponsoring my own videos, which in turn means more videos with less mid-roll ads, so I think that's a win-win for everyone involved. And finally, if you could leave a comment letting me know what is the best Pokemon ever, and why is it Teddiursa? Alright, let's get back to the video. To kick off year 3, in day 249, Cardio B gave birth to a normal calf that I named 𝘠𝘠𝘪 because it's sad that she'll have to be given away to another farm. Anyway, shout out Cleveland. But now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Will accessories be a trending item for this season? Drumroll, please. Yes, they will. Let's go. I'm gonna make so much money. I even have 30 more pink brooches and diamond bracelets cooking. Come on. Okay, that was a lot. I know, I get it, but let's get back to the game, right? Let's get back to it. Springtime means I can show a bit of knee, so I got a new outfit locked and loaded, and spent the entire day fishing. I was able to catch a couple new fish in the Mukitsuku at the Bazaar Square, the Wells catfish at the base of the mountains, and the rainbow trout near the mushroom logs. Those were the final 3 fish I needed to catch everything possible in Zephyr Town and mark off another section of the encyclopedia. Wilbur even showed up to my house to kick off day 250 to confirm I caught everything and give me a special little title for my achievement. Unfortunately for me though, my live chat decided it was time for another special outfit, and I'm nothing if not a man of my word. So with the seafarer's dress riding the gentle breeze, I took care of all my animals in the pasture and picked up a request for 1 guardian fish for Harold. I pretty much spent the entire day trying to catch a guardian fish, and it was only at 10 p.m. after everyone had gone to sleep and locked their doors that I caught another Wells catfish, so I guess that request will have to wait until tomorrow. Mimi's egg hatched on day 251, and the resulting chick was named 𝗵𝗄𝗄. I tossed on the sushi chef fit and got to work shearing and brushing my sheep, and catching an uncommon butterfly so I could finally complete Kevin's request. I then popped by Clara's to give her one of those bouquets I got as a Bazaar level up reward, and was given the apple pie recipe. While I'm completing requests, I also made sure to complete Harold's guardian fish request I got yesterday. And I then ended the day by catching my daily bees in the mountains. Day 252 begins in the big barn milking all my cows, before running over to the yellow windmill to pick up some accessories that will come in clutch for tomorrow's bazaar. I refreshed my stock of pink diamonds, made a max quality apple pie and gave it to Diana since it's her favorite gift, and then spent the remainder of the day retooling my bazaar for max accessories gains, getting all the stalls filled up and harvesting tea leaves in my basement. Day 253 is a big day for me, so I threw on my best bazaar fit, made sure to collect all my eggs and produce, and finished all my farm chores before running down to the bazaar to finally sell off all the accessories I've been hoarding while I waited for them to trend. Courtesy of all the decor and cheer bonuses, I got an extra 10 million G, resulting in a final profit of 28 million G. So with all that money, spending $100,000 on a new outfit doesn't feel that painful. I also went over to Rebecca's stall for the first time in a long time, and made some progress towards completing the Bazaar decor section of the encyclopedia before spending $1 million on another Bazaar level up. I said goodbye to 𝘠𝘠𝘪 and gave Lilac a miracle potion, then went over to the nature sprites to exchange another bingo card for the shrimp sushi glider. A super exciting day was capped off by repopulating my bee fields with fresh flowers and celebrating 𝗊𝗫𝗄's birthday with a delicious meal. Felix will probably be waking me up for the next couple days, and my Bazaar level up reward on day 254 was only 20 soothing fodder seeds. But I have a new glider to try out today, so I tossed that on and got to work milking all my cows and buffaloes. I spent another $1 million for another Bazaar level up, caught some bees and threw some spores on some mushroom logs before working on some annoying bingo missions. During my ore run, I found a couple of pink diamonds, got the yellow windmill queued up with more accessories, and finished the day off by completing another bingo mission by fishing near the town plaza. My day 255 Bazaar level up reward was some citrus perfume, so I smelled super nice when Diana came by the house to inform me that I broke the Bazaar single day sales record, so go me. My farm work today consisted of ground pounding some ripe crops in my basement, repopulating the first crop field with a bunch of flower seeds, and taking care of all my animals in the pasture. I then ran around town giving out the remaining citrus perfume I was gifted this morning, did my typical evening ore run before seeing a cutscene of the nature sprites on my front door as I was sleeping. I guess that little dance that they did in front of my house was the result of dropping off my daughter in the early hours of day 256. My live chat decided that my daughter's name should be Haru, so now I've got a little bean to take care of, along with my farm work. Unfortunately, Haru won't accept any gifts at this stage, even the best milk in all the lands. I did get some mail this morning though, the spring wagon display, a very important Bazaar decor item. This wagon provides a 10% price increase on all trending items, which is almost a little overpowered combined with accessories. But you have to take your wins with the losses. And I definitely lost out with the fact that 𝗊𝗵 was just a normal chicken variant. I spent the morning harvesting more tea leaves in my basement, getting even more pink brooches cooking, and then went down to the town plaza to see the opening ceremony of the flower festival. I made sure to upgrade the Bazaar again, then spend most of my evening running around town giving flowers to people. But the big moment of the day was when I caught this rare bug in the mountains and was able to give it to Penny to finally get the bug and critters up to 7-star quality, maxing out the sprite level for all 5 of the nature sprites. My reward for the Bazaar reaching level 38 was 3 pieces of rare alpaca yarn, but the best item I got the morning of day 257 was Penny's rosette in the mailbox. The hits keep on coming though, as I also grabbed myself a rare orange variant in the 3rd crop field before taking care of my animals. And so with all my farm work done, I went back to the plaza to attend the Flower Festival closing ceremony, where I became the back-to-back-to-back Best Neighbor Award winner. I then ended my day by leveling up the Bazaar and completing some bingo squares by collecting mushrooms. The level 39 Bazaar reward I got to kick off day 258 was 10 autumn juices. I gave Basil the sheep a haircut, leveled up the Bazaar, and went around town completing bingo squares before running back home to plant some radish seeds and cook up some honey juice. That honey juice finished off another full bingo card, so I got started on a new one and ended the day with another pink diamond infused ore run. Felix woke me up on day 259 to announce that our trailblazing Bazaar has been upgraded to a humanitarian Bazaar now that it's level 40, and the reward of 20 winter bouquets is not too bad, I guess. It's been a while since I changed my outfit, so I tossed on something fresh and got to work in the big barn. Obviously, I made another Bazaar donation just before the seasonal animal competition began. For this spring season, 𝗃𝗵𝗃 and I competed and swept the competition, resulting in another trophy. As I was saying hello to everyone after my victory, Diana asked me if she should pursue a new relationship, and I pushed my girl in the right direction to put a cap on the day.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, the gift I got for upgrading the Bazaar on day 260 was only some guardian bait, but being able to have some father-daughter time makes up for it. That being said, today's Bazaar will take me away for a while, so Mina generously offered to babysit on Saturdays. So I quickly milked all the cows in the big barn, threw on a fresh Bazaar outfit, and got to selling for my morning shift. 2 million G is a far cry from the 28 million I made last week, but you won't see me complaining. Over at the Nature Sprite stall, I exchanged another bingo card for a checkered coat before making another million in the afternoon. 𝗊𝗵𝗃 the chicken was sent to another farm, and 𝗃𝗵𝗃's eggs were fertilized before I noticed Rebecca was selling 3 more trend effect wagons. So obviously I bought them all not remembering that I could only use 3 at any given point in time. Now, I might have wasted some money, but I needed to get all 4 at some point anyways, so I'm not too mad about it. To finish another day, I paid to get the bazaar leveled up and spent the evening in the kitchen creating about a dozen special juices. 20 special yogurts was my reward for getting the bazaar up to level 42, and I started day 261 in earnest by harvesting some melons and cabbages. I went into my closet and threw on the default fit, got some rare wool from Burgundy, then went out into the world to collect some honeycomb and do a little bit of fishing. That evening, I encountered a cutscene between Mina and Madeline that explains how and why Mina chose to live in Zephyrtown and why she values her relationship with her grandmother so much. I leveled up the bazaar again yesterday, so I started day 262 by talking to Felix and finally receiving a decent reward, 10 pieces of ultimate lumber. I'll definitely use that later, but in the meantime, I wanted to try on the outfit I got last week and enjoyed my farm chores of milking cows and collecting avocados clad in a Santa-esque wardrobe. I swiftly upgraded the bazaar to level 44, then ran over to the yellow windmill to queue up the final tool I'll need to craft, the ultimate fishing rod. This little bastard signals a light at the end of the tunnel for my wood grind, so I am overjoyed to see an end is near. That evening, I picked up a level 4 chat friendship buff from 𝗂𝘁𝗃, so I downed a melon tea and spent the remainder of the day running around talking to people for those sweet, sweet friendship gains. 3 purple bracelets is hardly an adequate exchange for 1 million G to upgrade the bazaar, but I digress. Lilac gave birth the morning of day 263 to an identically rare alpaca, so this little one was named Bye-Bye for obvious reasons. I quickly did my farm chores in the morning, then used what was left of my friendship buff and talked to everyone I could. The only other notable portion of this day was collecting some mushrooms to knock off some bingo squares. The Santa fit was a little out of season, so I changed it up to start day 264. Of course, I made sure all the cows didn't explode, then went down to Miguel's to purchase some more radish seeds. I did my typical ore runs today and didn't have much else to do outside of planting those radish seeds. Another chickpea egg hatched on day 265 to reveal 𝘁𝗂𝗃𝗃. Fingers crossed this little buddy is a rare variant and doesn't get turned into 𝘁𝗂𝗃. This afternoon, I encountered my first rival couple cutscene between Diana and Arta. These cutscenes are just cute little snapshots in time as the 2 characters get to know each other more intimately. And this specific one was when Arta chose to tell Diana about his proclivities for bathing and sleeping outside. With the next bazaar quickly approaching, I populated my stall with accessories. With the rest of my day, I collected some honeycomb, continued refining lumber into sturdy lumber, and spent most of my evening practicing for the summer horse race. I even used some of the specialty juice I made last week to make training ivory quicker, so all those losers competing against me in a season's time better come correct. As I was enjoying a relaxing morning on day 266, 𝗂𝘂𝘁𝗃 informed me that today is honey day, so I gladly accepted her honey cake gift. I could never wear the same outfit for too long, so I swapped to something new and got into the kitchen to make my own honey cake, which I gave to 𝗂𝘂𝘁𝗃, obviously. Out in the pasture, I made sure to pet and brush all the animals before running into town to hand out honey to all of my friends. The ore runs were lucrative today as I got a couple of pink diamonds from digging and smashing, before immediately getting them turned into more brooches. While I was in the yellow windmill, I also grabbed my ultimate fishing rod, so now my hotbar is filled to the brim with ultimate tools. The best thing about the final version of the fishing rod is that it makes the minigame so much quicker and easier, as 3 little fish icons are removed every time you provide the correct input. So I spent my evening fishing at the mountaintop until I finished off a bingo square. The morning of day 267, I harvested some ripe green onions and checked my mailbox to find a couple of pink diamonds from Felix for crafting that ultimate fishing rod. I made sure to quickly take care of all my animals, then it was down to the bazaar square to start selling some accessories. I was able to more than double my base sales from 4.5 million to almost 10 million, thanks to all the decor bonuses I get from the windmill goods and the trend effect wagons I bought last week. With that money burning a hole in my pocket, I actually took the time to wrap a gift and give it to Freya to complete another bingo square. I then went over to Ramon's to fertilize chickpeas eggs again, and said bye-bye to bye-bye. The afternoon shift consisted of selling off some bugs to cross out another couple bingo squares, and that's how I ended the day. It's been a while since I donned the ninja suit, so I started day 268 by slipping into that, then collecting some radishes and lettuce in the basement. I finished off my farm chores by milking the cows, then ran to the town plaza to see all the town's girl dads having a powwow of sorts. Unfortunately, even though I'm also a girl dad, I was not allowed in the circle. I guess June and Sophie found that funny. After I made sure the bazaar kept being upgraded, I saw another cutscene this time in the cafe as Shireen was hanging out with me and Freya as they threw back some oddly colored shots on a Sunday morning. I then sold off a bunch of recipes I've been hoarding to Miguel, and then finished the day off with a quick ore run and the continued training of Ivory as the moon started to rise. The donation requirement has risen to 1.5 million G on day 269, but 99 pieces of silver isn't the worst reward I've ever gotten. This morning I equipped a new outfit, harvested some bok choy in the basement, and sheared all my sheep before running out into the third crop field to collect some tree fruits. Over in the yellow windmill, I got some more pink brooches going. Then it's over to the town plaza where the crop show is underway, and my 5-star cabbages made this competition more of a spectator sport. And with most of my day gone to the festival, I spent more time training up Ivory and replanting crops in my basement before going to bed. My live chat basically required me to equip the cow fit to start day 270, so I really blended in with my environment as I took care of my animals this morning. Side note, 𝘁𝗫𝗄𝗃 was not a rare variant and will be sold. Over at the town square, I ponied up the 1.5 million G before doing more horse training. Another long and arduous mint collection completed this bingo card, so now I can get started on another, before ending the day by picking up a diamond. I don't know how Felix carried 10 giant things of hot pot to my house, but that was my reward for leveling up the bazaar to level 46. I quickly made sure Blue was milked and brushed before returning home to take that ridiculous cow suit off, then went into town to donate more money to the bazaar and get started on making every processed good item in the blue windmill with these mushroom spores. Really, the only things left to do today were to do my ore runs in the mountains and nature sprite ridge, and sow some more fodder seeds in the pasture since my animals have been eating it all. The morning of day 272, one of Chickpea's eggs hatched and Lady Nug was added to our band of farm pals. Side note, over 1.5 million G got me some tea perfume, so that's money well spent if you ask me. I then went and took care of all my animals and enjoyed the festivities of Tea Day. After dumping another 1.6 million into the bazaar, I ended the day in the yellow windmill to craft the glittering windmill churn, the final item I needed to make that required ultimate stone. I wish the level 48 bazaar reward was something better than ultimate stone, but it's only rare brown alpaca yarn. A rainy day 273 picks up as I check my mail and grab the blue windmill model for getting the Azure expert title. And then the animals had to stay inside today, so the big barn is full of cows that need milked, and then I ran over to the yellow windmill to pick up my new glittering churn. I had another massive moment today where I crafted 10 pieces of ultimate lumber, the final time I'd need to do that, signaling the end of my wood grind. And to celebrate that milestone, I got some honeycomb from the bees, made some thinly veiled tax write-offs, dropped off all my goods I plan to sell at tomorrow's bazaar, and prepared my stall decor to continue making buku bucks. Fingers crossed the tax man doesn't see the 20 grape oils I received for donating all that money. I kicked off day 274 in the basement, harvesting some more green onions, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened that I'll just let Live Jack explain. You know what? I'm doing this live. I forgot to record again. This is gonna be in the video. I'm doing it live. I'm not going back to get more footage. I did a bazaar. It's bazaar day. Woohoo! It's Saturday. Yay! I made 3.3 million selling some accessories. That's all you missed. Let's go back to post script Jack, and he can help you out, and we can get this train rolling again. So yeah, completely forgot to record. So let's get back into reading this here script. I got 𝘁𝗃𝗄𝗃 sent off to a special little farm. Went over to the nature sprites to exchange a finished bingo card for the soft checkered coat, and bought some more stall decor from them. Burgundy was given a miracle potion, and then was up to the mountains to collect some bees before returning to the bazaar square to sell off some low-value items to complete more bingo squares. High-key, I was kind of pissed I forgot to record, so I called it an early day after doing my ore run and leveling up the bazaar again. On day 275, the bazaar reached level 50, so I'm technically halfway done with my donations. Unfortunately for me though, the math doesn't really work out that way, and I still have about 200 million G that I need to give to Felix. But hey, 3 pink diamonds is a good start on that 200 mil. In the barn, I made sure to pet Oreo and Basil before going out into the first crop field to harvest some cabbages. I donated another large amount of money, and the game seemed to understand my struggle and gifted me a pink diamond during my ore run. I then finished the day off by collecting some more bees until I finished this little bingo square. A mix of 20 pickled vegetables was my reward for the most recent bazaar level up, and day 276 truly begins in the barn, taking care of Basil the sheep. Out into the rain, I went to collect some cherries, avocados, and coffee beans from the third crop field, before I went to the red windmill to get started on crafting every single processed item. To finish off the day, I upgraded the bazaar, sold some leftover stuff to my boy Miguel, did my daily ore runs to get some diamonds, and then spent my evening doing a relaxing bit of fishing. Unfortunately for me, my bazaar reward on day 277 was another power berry. But fortunately, I received another chat friendship buff from Kiketsu. So I quickly changed into a submissive and breedable outfit, then found out that Lady Nug was another not-so-rare chicken variant. I spent my afternoon running around town talking to people with that chat friendship buff, completed a bingo mission by collecting some honeycomb in the mountains, and finished the day off by planting some cabbages in the basement and collecting a pink diamond during my late-night resource dash. Day 278 begins in the closet, switching into an outfit much more my speed before I spent my morning quickly making the rounds to utilize the dying minutes of yesterday's Kagetsu buff. Over at the general store, Miguel had an absolute doozy of a request for me to take on. He wants 99 5-star flowers to make into a bouquet for Mina. My man continues to be diabolically down bad. So it was over to the basement to get started on that request. Then it's back to talking to people, starting with my daughter Haru. Of course, I can't neglect my farm work as I went out to the pasture to take care of some animals before running over to the third crop field to get some more oranges. I put a cap on the day in the red windmill, grinding out all those processed goods. I was feeling festive for day 279, the final day of spring, so I put on this outfit and got to work brushing all of my sheep in the barn. This morning, I got the final processed good I needed from the red windmill cooking, the pickled veggie mix. My girl Kagetsu made it back-to-back fortunes with chat friendship boosts, so I'm sure you already know that I spent a strong majority of the day running around the map, chatting to people. The remainder of my day was spent doing some gem hunting around town and cooking in the kitchen since I have 239 total recipes I need to make. Day 280 in the first day of summer in year 3 begins by checking my mailbox for some lackluster trending items. But do you know what isn't lackluster? All of my amazing animals that deserve as many pets as possible. I went over to the Bazaar Square, where I saw Arta show off his super strength, to which Diana was obviously admiring. These two just need to get a room. And speaking of rooms, I then went down to the hotel to utilize the dying embers of my chat friendship boost before going up to the mountains to clear out the honeybee field and collect a pink diamond at the shrine. That afternoon, I continued making progress on Miguel's request by planting and fertilizing some flowers, but the big stuff I want to cross off today is the collection of some bugs I'm missing. So I went down to the equestrian park and caught the 𝗁𝗁𝗄𝗁 firefly, and over to the bazaar to catch the princess firefly to end the day. My live chat requested this specific outfit for day 281, and I'm nothing if not a man of the people. This morning was spent in the kitchen cooking up a bunch of honey juice so I could progress another bingo card, before heading down into the basement to sight down some bloomed flowers. Over to the bazaar I went though to prep my stock of goods and retool my stall decor for today's bazaar. Of course, I grabbed a Destiny Fortune and got to selling where I made just over 600,000 G. That aforementioned bingo card was complete after my morning shift, so I collected a belt checkered glider before purchasing some more clothes at Karina's. Lori had a pretty simple request of milk for me, so that was an easy completion that added the 𝗵𝗁𝗄𝗀 recipe to my book. With the bazaar now at level 50, Wilbur offered the final storage expansion job, but unfortunately I don't have the goods to get another 1.2 million to purchase it. Lady Nug was given away to another farm, and Lilac was next on the breeding block as I hope for a super rare alpaca. That evening I did another round of gem hunting, made sure to feed Burgundy in the barn, then ran into Madeline who has a request for a golden crop. In exchange for a golden strawberry, I received the ultimate curry recipe. And to end an exciting day, I did some more bug collection, starting with the Hercules beetle at the mountains, and ending with the glossy stag beetle near my third crop field. Only 4 more bugs to go. To start day 282, I donned all the new attire collected yesterday, and harvested some Napa cabbage in the basement. With Lilac being pregnant, she needs some extra attention this morning, before I ran down to the town plaza where Sylvia has a request from me that I can't complete. So this short day was wrapped up by doing an ore run and continuing to fertilize my flowers for Miguel. Down in the basement, day 283 starts with a bang as I collected the rare variant of the cabbage I was looking for, leaving only the Napa cabbage as the last rare non-tree crop I need to find. Out in the first crop field, a whole bunch of petunias are ready for plucking, which I quickly threw back into the blue windmill since they're only 3.5-star quality. That afternoon, I gave Arta some of his favorite gift, Unadon, which saw him become the second person in town I reached 10 hearts with. So with a new best friend in the books, I milked all of my cows, then went back into town to chat with Nadine, who needs a handful of monarch mushrooms. Since I only have 2 in my storage right now, I went up to the mountains to throw some 7-star spores on the logs, which guarantees a rare mushroom spawn. I then finished the day off in the yellow windmill as I worked at getting all the possible processed goods crafted for this windmill. Burgundy gave birth on day 284 to a super rare 2-toned brown alpaca. The live chat and I agreed that Cashmere was the perfect name for our new friend, so I quickly harvested some more flowers in the basement and went to check up on our newest addition to make sure she's comfy cozy. My girl 𝗃𝗃𝗄𝗃 once again hooked it up with a chat friendship buff, but first I needed to finish off crafting every item in the blue windmill with this guardian bait. And with that done and dusted, I had all the time in the world to run around town and chat with people. One of the individuals I had a conversation with was Gabriel, who found someone that catched his eye, and it would be objectively terrible manners if I discouraged him in any way, shape, or form for going after what he loves. I stepped out of the cozy homes and into the rain to do my daily ore run, then ran back into the yellow windmill to queue up the final windmill decor item, the glittering jewelry stand. With that cooking, I can finish my day by planting and fertilizing more napa cabbage in the hopes of getting that golden one soon. To start day 285, I interrupted everyone's breakfast since my chat buff is running out of time, and Kevin had a request for me to complete. Luckily, I'm a hoarder and I had those 5 rare bugs locked and loaded, so I could instantly complete his request and get another bizarre decor item. My glittering jewelry stand was prepared overnight, so I grabbed that from the yellow windmill before ending the day with my farm chores by fertilizing flowers and milking Blue the buffalo. The chicken feed section is looking a little light, so I started day 286 by rectifying that before continuing the great fertilizing of 2026. Thanks to crafting that jewelry stand yesterday, I got the Golden Expert title, which only granted me 20 pieces of 3-star gold. But on the bright side, my monarch mushrooms are finally ready in the mountains, so I can complete Nadine's request and learn the fried rice noodle recipe. Looks like we have another request train as Felix wants some soup, so I ran back home to cook some up and complete his request. And then Mina wanted a rare crop, of which I have plenty, so I got that crossed off the list and picked up the marinated fish recipe, before picking up one final request for the day from Wilbur, who wants bees. I then turned my attention to the semi-annual pet festival, where Gigi and I put on a show and took home the trophy for what feels like the 100th time. To finish off my day, I sold off some processed goods to Miguel and enjoyed a meal with 𝗃𝗃𝗄, who remembered that today was my birthday. Thanks, 𝗃𝗃𝗄, even I forgot. To kick off day 287, I cut down some bloomed sunflowers in the cellar, made sure to brush all my animals in the barn, and saw another rival cutscene between Diana and Arta, who are slowly progressing. I planted those fresh sunflowers in the beekeeping field, did a super zoomed in mineral run at the nature sprite ridge, then collected even more flowers that I could place down for the bees in the mountains. I ended the day back in the blue windmill, making more flower seeds since I still don't have enough 5-star flowers for Miguel. Another bizarre day means a fresh bizarre outfit on day 288, where some sheep are ready for trimming in the barn and a bunch of cucumbers are ready for harvest in the greenhouse. Before I get my bizarre day started in earnest, I picked up and completed a request from my boy Eric, and was gifted the dry curry recipe in return. With a Destiny fortune in my back pocket, I made about 300,000 G in my morning shift, crafted some new clothes with Karina's help, and then got Mimi's next egg fertilized. My afternoon shift was equally unimpressive, so I spent my evening crossing off bingo squares by catching bugs and doing some bell ringing animation canceling in the barn. And to put another bizarre day in the books, I finished it off with an anticlimactic ore run. Day 289 begins in the bar, giving all my animals some pets before going out to the mountains to collect some bees so I could complete Wilbur's request. My reward was a brand new overall outfit, which I immediately had to try on, and this outfit seemed to give me a solid luck buff since I was finally able to harvest the golden napa cabbage, officially ending my quest for the rare non-tree crops. As one request is completed though, another takes its place, as Sonia wants a fruit sandwich. That recipe was easy enough to cook up and complete, so I ended the day by planting more flowers at the bee field, sowing more flower seeds in my first crop field, and getting them all fertilized. It might be midsummer, but my live chat begged me for a Christmas fit on day 290, so I kindly obliged and started my day by brushing my animals in the barn. I do not recommend wearing something heavy like this when it's raining outside, but that's not going to stop me from fertilizing these flowers. I went over to the hotel where Shireen had a request from me that I unknowingly already completed, and the only other highlight of the day was leveling up my friendship with Stuart. Unfortunately, Lilac gave birth to a not-so-rare progeny the morning of day 291, so this little one was named Boohoo, since it's sad that she'll have to be sent off to another farm. I then went into the closet to throw on a more seasonally appropriate outfit, to get some wool from basil and cashmere. Up in the mountains, I collected some honeycomb and finished off my final deluxe bingo card before getting the mellow honeycomb cooking for Sylvia's request in the blue windmill. I did my morning ore run, then ran into the hotel where Stuart has a much easier request for me than 999 sickle uses. So I went back to the farm to get some mayonnaise queued up in the red windmill, only for Harold to have a request for me as well. The curry bread was crafted in the kitchen, and another request was done and dusted, and I was rewarded with some more bazaar decor. Remember all the way back on day 236 when I got the 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝘊𝘲 recipe from Samir? Well, it took me almost 60 days to finally realize the power that this recipe holds. You'll see what I mean tomorrow since this day is already over. But with a new outfit equipped on day 292 and a bunch of 5-star flowers side down, I can show you just how amazing 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝘊𝘲 is. When consumed, you get a double forage buff. So any ore you smash and every weed you cut down instantly doubles. I'll be kicking myself for eternity for 1, not befriending Samir quicker, and 2, not constantly inhaling 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝘧 all the time. My incompetence aside, another amazing thing I did to end the day was donate those 99 5-star flowers to Miguel in exchange for another completed request and a new decor item. Mimi had another chick hatch from one of her eggs on day 293, so I'm hoping 𝘀𝘪𝘪 is a rare variant. This morning I checked on all my animals in the big barn and completed a couple of requests. The first from Stuart and his 𝗺𝗰𝗸𝗀, and the second from Sylvia where I received a 𝗺𝗪𝘠𝗀 recipe in exchange for some honey and yogurt. With those two completed, that left Clara as the only villager in town I have yet to complete all their requests. And to finish off another exciting day, I utilized the 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝗧 buff to get double pink diamonds at the shrine. With the bazaar coming back into town tomorrow, day 294 begins with another outfit change. And now that I no longer need rare field crops, I started planting trees in my basement before picking up another chat friendship buff from Kagetsu. All of my large animals got milked and pet in the pasture, then I arrived early to the festival to talk to all the gawking townsfolk. Lucky for me, Clara's request is just a single 5-star apple, of which I have many. So with that request complete and the golden blend tea recipe acquired, I've officially completed every request in the game and can now get every villager up to 10 hearts of friendship. Today's festivities are headlined by the seasonal animal show, in which Burgundy and I cleaned house and left with yet another trophy. And thanks to the 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝗧, my ore run this evening was plentiful, and I ended the day with 6 diamonds and having caught the large dotted firefly for the first time. As I was running down to the square for day 295's bazaar, I was talking to people using my friendship buff and was asked to encourage Sophie's budding relationship, which was an obvious yes. I took the morning to retool my bazaar since I've received so many new decor items, and only sold a minuscule 186,000 G in goods. On the bright side, I finally finished off all the available deluxe bingo cards and picked up the bow checkered glider from the sprites. Boohoo the alpaca was sent to a new farm, and Caramel the cow was given a miracle potion before I did my afternoon shift and made enough money off of some leftover orichalcum to purchase the final storage expansion from my boy Wilbur. With what I had left over, I ended the day at Karina's crafting a brand new outfit. Day 296 begins with Wilbur finishing that storage upgrade at 5 in the morning. But you won't see me complaining about space for 312 items and 3 max quality pink diamonds. I put on a new outfit with the clothes I bought yesterday, then went into the barn to get some rare wool from Burgundy and Oreo. After doing my farm chores, Sophie showed up at my house to thank me for completing everyone's requests in town, and I also got the people person title as well. I then went into the kitchen and cooked up the 𝗺𝗪𝘠𝗀 because just like 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝘧, it has a special buff that increases your jump distance. So on days like today, where there's a heavy wind, you can do cool stuff like jumping from the top of the hotel all the way to the nature sprite ridge. The 𝗵𝗪𝗪𝘧 buff is still objectively better in my favorite, since I got another 4 diamonds for my ore run to end the day. Another new fit is in order to start day 297, and then it's over to the mailbox where I got 99 gold medals for having the max storage upgrade, and another bizarre decor item for completing every request. The rest of this day was fairly uneventful, as I got some rare wool from basil, did some fishing since I need to donate 1,500 more fish to Finley for a title, and I finished it off with a double forged pink diamond ore run. 𝘀𝘀𝘪𝘪𝘀 is a fully grown disappointment to start day 298, but I was able to see a new rival cutscene this morning. This time it's between Sophie and Lloyd, the latter giving the former a cute little flower hairpin to start the courting process. My afternoon was spent doing more fishing near the yellow windmill, collecting more honeycomb, then doing another double forage ore run before finishing the day off by consuming a specialty juice and training Ivory for tomorrow's horse derby, which should be a breeze now that Ivory is almost completely maxed out. Day 299 begins in the barn, getting more rare wool from Oreo and Cashmere, and then it was down to the equestrian park to put all that training to use. Ivory and I absolutely demolished the course and set every other jockey packing. But more importantly, the 12,400 points I got was enough to get the Summer Derby Champ title to end the day. It's finally day 300, so it would be entirely wrong if I didn't wear an outfit my live chat picked out. I made sure to give my animals many pets and get them milked before stepping out into a rainy day to collect some tree fruits. I repopulated my mushroom logs and donated a bunch of mushrooms I had hoarded to get the Generous Mushroomer title, before doing the same thing with honey to get the Generous Beekeeper title. I did a bit of fishing in the rain to have enough fish to donate and pick up the Generous Fisher title, before doing another 𝗺𝘅𝗵𝗆 infused ore run and picking up a solid amount of diamonds. Back in the mountains, I caught the second to last bug I needed, the 𝘺𝘂𝘃𝗏 beetle, and ended these 300 days by finally heading off to bed. But just because we finished 300 days doesn't mean we've completed the game. We have a bunch of stuff to do to truly 100%, so it's the perfect time for an epilogue. Our epilogue begins right where I left off on day 301, where I caught the 𝘊𝘂𝑍𝑜 𝑐I𝑎𝑑𝑎. This was the final bug I needed to collect to finish this section of the encyclopedia. 12 days later, I was woken up by Isaac as I was finally able to create every item in the windmills. So it's back to the encyclopedia I go to confirm that all of the processed goods are made. Fast forwarding to day 355, I finally won the Golden Winter Horse Race, which netted me another trophy and the title for getting 10,000 points. Winning that race also had the added benefit of completing my Kagetsu Shrine. On day 386, my daughter Haru aged up for the first time. She can now walk and has a cute little penguin outfit. That afternoon, I was also able to finally get Clara up to 10 hearts, marking every single original villager reaching max friendship. I then added my daughter Haru to that list of people with max friendship on day 412. Now I don't need to talk to anyone ever again. On day 421, I finally had the resources to get every single clothing item in the game from Karina, and then 3 weeks later I had enough cash to purchase the max refrigerant power-up from Garen. Now anything I put in my storage will stay fresh forever. On day 463, I finally cooked up matcha tea, the final recipe I needed to make all 239 recipes in the game, and that was confirmed later on day 464 when the town chefs came to congratulate me. On day 510, Haru had her second and final grow-up cutscene, and a couple of days later, her Kagetsu and I went for a walk where she gave me a flower crown, which was the final memento I needed to get every single one. On day 655, I paid 10 million G towards a Bazaar level up, which was revealed the next morning to be the 99th and final level up, taking our Visionary Bazaar to the title of Legendary. I also got this sick championship belt looking thing. This day was also the Bazaar day where I purchased the final horseback forging skill from Felix for 12 million G. This upgrade is expensive, but it's honestly so much fun when combined with a 𝗺𝘅𝗵𝗆. 50 days later, I was finally able to collect the last rare tree crop I needed, the golden cacao bean. Here's a look at the completed crop section of the encyclopedia. On day 756, I entered my SSR sheep 𝗵𝗵𝗆 into the golden animal competition, and obviously came out with another big fat win. This was the final animal type I needed to get a brand for, and I received the decor item for getting that title in the mail on day 760. Side note, that was the final decor item I needed to complete that part of the encyclopedia and complete the entire encyclopedia as a whole. I then spent the next 28 days doing legitimately nothing but fishing. 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Fishing, fishing, fishing. I needed to catch a total of 2,000 fish and donate them all to Finley for a title, and I was able to complete that goal on day 778. With that title in my back pocket, I officially had every single title in the game, and a normal person would have stopped playing a long time ago. And a crazy person probably would have stopped right here. But I've ascended to a higher plane of insanity and had just 2 more things that I wanted to do. Number 1, I wanted to get the SSR variant of every animal, and I did that on day 872, culminating with the SSR Silky Chicken. But just in case you want to see the rarest variant of every animal, here's a look at my animal list in case you want to confirm and pause at your leisure. And number 2, I wanted to get a brand for every single crop and flower in the game. I accomplished this goal on day 6,966 with this bellflower. That's right, I slept through almost 50 in-game years, only pausing to win seasonal crop shows. I won 165 total crop shows, got every single crop, tree fruit, and flower up to 7-star quality, and had every single one reach branded status. And only at that point could I officially say that I 100% Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Thank you so much for watching my video. After going above and beyond to 100% this game, I can wholeheartedly say the 300 hours I spent playing was well worth it. If you watched this entire series and are still on the fence about giving it a try, I highly recommend you do so, as it's worth every penny. It might even be in my top 5 favorite Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons games. And with all that being said, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you to help me out with the channel a little bit. If you enjoyed this video and the series, it'd be super dope if you hit the subscribe button and enable notifications. If you could hit the like button as well, that would really help out the engagement metrics. If you want to get more involved in my community, you should check out the description below and follow me on Blue Sky and Twitch. Down there is also a link to my personal Discord server. It's the best place to be if you're looking for a super wholesome and accepting community that loves video games. And once again, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.